Single Queen. This is Desmond Booker. I am a Christian dating and relationship coach. I help queens who are seeing success in their life, but not seeing the success that they're wanting to see in their love life. This is another time that we're coming. I got something special for you. Many of you have been requesting something. Now, again, if you're desiring to want me to talk about a topic or want me to discuss some things, drop drop your question down below, or you can DM me. If you're on IG, you can DM me, Instagram, YouTube, message me as well on YouTube. If you're here, just drop your question down below. Now we got a very great topic today that I wanna talk about. Now, if you're watching me on YouTube, I thank you for subscribing to this channel. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for even sharing the videos. We're growing, we're growing, and so we're so thankful. Also, by you commenting here on YouTube, it helps generate momentum, right? Generate a conversation. I'm not just talking at you, I'm talking to you. We're having a conversation. So we want you to do that. We want to welcome all of you from YouTube. Also, you that are on Instagram, we want to thank you for as you're commenting and any questions you have. Many of you are in my DM. I'm telling you, this is the year for you to go from single to successfully dating, if that's your desire, right? Also, our Facebook group, Queens Don't Settle, we welcome you watching this tonight. I want to talk about real quickly, and I can go in depth in this, but I'm not going to be on here long. I want to talk about six things that is keeping you single. 6 things that are keeping you single. Now, what we have to start off and realize and saying that it's no one keeping you single but yourself. So we want to start there. It's not anything or anybody else, but it's you that's keeping you single. So grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and jot these down, and then begin to really look and see at these six things, which one you resonate with, and then drop a comment to if this is you. Number one thing that's keeping you single is what? Would be fear. Okay? Fear is keeping you single. Now again, fear keeps you paralyzed. It keeps you thinking it won't happen. Keeps you thinking that somebody's going to hurt you, right? So there's so many fears that you could have, but it's fear that's keeping you single. So fear of rejection. If you're fearing that so you're not going to put yourself out there. You're not going to be vulnerable because you're thinking that somebody's going to reject you. Or fear of being hurt, right? I don't want to go through this process. Fear of failure, right? I've been through this too many times. I'm afraid to fail again. So one of the things is fear of failure, right? Now there's not no order to this. I'm just giving you one, okay? Do you have any fear? If you have any fear about being in a relationship, any fear about dating, any fear about being married, it's going to keep you single, okay? So that's the first thing. Secondly is being comfortable, right? So if you're in a comfort place, then you're going to see yourself continuing to be single. You're not wanting to do anything new. You're comfortable, right? Now, I want you to jot this down. You're comfortable, right? So then you're either going to be married to being comfortable, or you're going to be married to the person that you're desiring to marry. I want you to really think about what I just said. So either I'm going to be married and I'm going to be married to being comfortable, or married to being a person. What's keeping me single? I'm married to being comfortable. Every time, somebody invites me somewhere, I don't know if I really want to go there. I don't want to know if I want to put myself out there. Again, why? Why are you comfortable? In order to meet somebody, it's not going to be in your comfort zone. So if you're married to being comfortable, it's going to keep you from being married to somebody. All right? Hopefully this is resonating. So fear, being comfortable. The third thing is being the same person. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to change for anybody. If he wants to be with me, then he's just going to have to accept me as, really? Are you willing to accept him as he is? Most likely not, right? Being the same person, not willing to change, will keep you single, even and not even being open to date somebody that you've never dated before. Dating outside of what you quote unquote think is a good man, that will keep you single, right? So again, if you're just having to be just yourself, being the same person is going to get you the same results. Why are things not changing in my life? Is because I'm not changing. And when you begin to change, that's when your results are going to change, right? And so how is it that I see results in all the other areas of my life, but I don't see any results in my love life? It's because in those other areas of your life, you were willing to change. And you have changed, and you can even recognize the change, right? But now when it comes to meeting a person, you're not willing to change. And that's what's keeping you single, okay? So 3 of those things: fear is keeping you single, being comfortable, and being the same person, not willing to change. Fourthly, let's talk about the environment. Who are you surrounded by? You're surrounded by nothing but single people. Single, you may even have a single friend, right? He's not anything else, but he's just your single friend. But single girlfriend. So, and what I've noticed is that a lot of girls may post something. Well, there's not any good men, or there are. Girl, don't give up. There's some great men out there, but they keep posting these things every single day, every single week. What's changing? Your environment. So she's talking about there's not any good men. She's not been on a date. So how many girlfriends do you have? How many friend girls do you have that are single? Is that wrong? Absolutely not. Is she willing to change? What's keeping her single, right? You need to be sharing this with her, because if you're going to be with 3 or 4 people that are single, what are you guys doing to move from single to successfully dating? Ask them honestly, can you see yourself in a relationship? Can you see yourself married? We both were divorced. Are you wanting to get married again? You got to make sure that your environment is conducive, right? You got to make sure that you're connected to people who want to be. That's why I've created our group on Facebook, created this group here on Instagram, because we're talking about being married. We're talking about just not marrying anybody. We're talking about to your dream partner. Anybody can be in a relationship. No, we're talking about being in a great relationship. Are you connected to people, surrounded by people who want to be in a relationship? What are they talking about, right? Are you connected to me? What am I talking about, right? Yes, you've been hurt. Yes, you've gone through this. Yes, you've gone through that. But I still believe that you can be in a relationship. And I believe that queens don't settle. So look at the people that you connect, your environment. Look at even your environment at home. Just say, would a man, when he comes over, would he feel comfortable? Well, ain't nobody coming over my house. Well, you ought to be preparing a place for him to come, right? To visit you. Man, I'm gonna be dating this and creating that space of and clean up, right? As if he was going to come. Start doing these things, because why? He's on his way. Creating that environment. You know, you got all that stuff on your bed, and your remote control, the rollers, and all this stuff on your bed. Where would he sleep at? Where would he sleep at? Where would he take a nap at? Right? You got your side, but I'm saying that because in your mind, you haven't created a space for him, even in your bed. Do you see this? And so create an environment, a space for him. I hadn't even been on a date in a long time. I can't even see anybody coming over to my house. Well, because you can't see it, that's why it's not happening. Create an environment. When you come home, you can even start saying, hey, honey, I'm home. People think that's crazy. No, it's not crazy. I'm talking to the person when I get home, right? Creating an environment, okay? So now I'm not going to take too long on that. Okay, let's talk about it. What's keeping me single? And that's what we're talking about tonight. What's keeping me single? Fear, being comfortable, being the same person, not willing and wanting to change. My environment, surrounded by the wrong people. my home or my car, anything, right? The environment is keeping me single. Um, fifth, the fifth thing, holding on to your old story. Holding on to that old story. This is what we call that excuse maker. I'm holding on to the old. Why are you single? Well, I go to this church and there's nobody at this church. And I go to my job and everybody at the job. You got that same story that you keep telling everybody and you keep telling yourself. What's keeping you single is you're holding on to that old story. You got to get you a new story. I can't believe I met somebody. Oh my goodness, I haven't been out on dating in a long time. I finally met someone. He wasn't the one, but I believe that I'm going to get closer and I'm going to put myself still out there and I'm going to start getting good results. Creating a new story. Lose that old story. What's keeping you single is you got that same old, as they said, same old sad song. You got to get rid of that. No, today is a new day. This is 2025 and I'm going to lose that story that I've had since 2000. 2020, right? 2019. Think about it. What story are you using? What story are you using? It's an excuse. It's an excuse. It's the same story of why, well, I tried this, I tried that. You know how with me being a dating and relationship coach, I have queens who have already programmed and I've already got the story. I've already tried that dating. I've already tried the dating coach. I've already tried a relationship coach. And I'm still seeing you got that same story. I've been online. I've dated and with dating apps. Oh my goodness. I even tried Facebook and still nope. Do you see that? You're holding on to the old story. Let's create a new story. That old story is keeping you single. Now, this one right here is going to this one right here is the big one, and that's why I saved this for last. You know why many believers, quote unquote Christians, are single mostly? And I'm saying this because this is going to relate to you. It's because you're blaming God. You're saying you're waiting on God. I want you to think about that. I'm waiting on God. God haven't brought him. If God wants me married, then he would bring him into my life. Really? Now I want you to really think about that from God's perspective and from God's standpoint. Are you really ready? From what I just even read, if you can relate to any of fear, being comfortable, being the same person, not willing to change, your environment around the wrong people who are always talking about being single, who are always talking about, I'm not going to put myself out there because I'm going to get hurt. You're putting yourself in wrong environments and you're holding on to this old story. Would God really bring somebody to you, quote unquote, his son? Would he really bring somebody who's going to treat you right, love you unconditionally? Will he really bring somebody to you like you are? You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying you're waiting. No, you're not waiting on God. God's not keeping you single. You're using that as an excuse of why you don't want to change. Using that excuse of why you're continuing to do the things and getting the results. We got to be responsible for this. It's not God. Now, again, when I say this, every relationship with God is a personal relationship. So I don't get into any arguments about this because I would feel some queens feel as if God says, stay single, right? Stay single. My thing is, how do I know if God's telling me to stay single or because you would have what? You have a desire to be married. And if you have a desire to be married, why would God say stay single and you have this desire to be married? I'm not talking about something that you've created and something that you want, but this is something that I feel God is. And so I'm saying this, let me just kind of segue a little bit. I truly believe, and this is what God told me just yesterday. I believe yesterday or maybe even Sunday, just the other day. He told me this. He says, many of you are out of your purpose. And he simply said that a wife is like without a husband. A wife without a husband is like a fish without water. Think about it. So a fish without water is what? Doesn't have any purpose. It can't breathe. It can't do it. It can't function. You as a wife need a husband. Did you hear what I said? Need a husband. Because why? Because that's the way you were created, to be a helpmate. If God created you to be a helpmate, why in the world he would keep you single? That doesn't make sense, does it? It absolutely doesn't make sense. It absolutely doesn't make sense. And he says that he will not withhold any good thing from you. It's just a story. It's just something that you're telling yourself, I'm waiting on God. No, you're not waiting on God. God is waiting on you. He's going to direct you. He's going to instruct you. In fact, if you were waiting on God, in fact, if God didn't want you to be married, you wouldn't have clicked on this. You wouldn't be listening to me right now. That's just an indication right now that that's not true. Okay. So again, we have to get out of our way and stop coming up with a story. We got to lose the fear. We got to stop being comfortable. We got to stop saying that we're not going to change. We got to do all of these things. Okay. So I'm going to conclude. I can talk about this all the time because I am passionate about seeing you really go from single to successfully dating. I am passionate, and I'm not only passionate about it, but I'm praying for you. I'm praying that this is your year, that you would allow somebody to love you, that you allow somebody to come into your life. Okay, let's talk about these real quickly, and I'm going to close with this, right? The fear, being comfortable, being the same person, which is that you refuse to change, waiting on God, the environment, you're hanging on to some things, and holding on to your old story. All of these things is what is keeping you single. So tonight, I want you to really think about that. And again, if you have any questions, if you want to add something, go ahead and comment below. You can DM me if you're ready to go from single to successfully dating. You're on Instagram. Thank you for joining me. You can DM me if you're on YouTube. Comment below and I'll get a hold of you. If you're in my Facebook group watching this, again, comment below and I'll get a hold of you. This is your year to go from single to successfully dating without settling. Before you leave, subscribe to my channel. Before you leave, share this with somebody. And remember, queens don't settle. Have a great day. Thank you for joining me.